Alright, well, let me go catch up with Nick and see what he got for me, alright, boo? It'll crack out. Okay, first thing I'm going to do this morning is explain a couple things. The red, the discoloration you see is a zinc primer, and what that does is when you weld, the zinc actually shrinks back into it as the weld cools. And I'll put that on all my seams that's going to be welded. And next I'm checking my fitment, making sure I've got good trunk line. Trunk line is very respectable. Then I'm going to check my door, make sure my door gap is where I want it to be before I do any welding. Okay, now the wheel opening molding on this model is a hammered flange, which means the sheet metal comes down and is wrapped around and hammered tight, and this area is glued, so there's no welding necessary there. And then I've got all the welds all the way around. So like I said, my first process is to start welding on the door area to lock it in tight. That way I know my gap stays the same, because the panel will grow as you weld, so you want to start in your jam area. Okay, what I've achieved is I've got the welds in the door jamb, and then I got to go back and clean these up. But first and foremost, I wanted to get the door jamb welded. That way I maintain the gap that I had set up originally. I still have a nice gap. Now that's locked in place and won't go anywhere. My next area to weld will be up along the top and then along the quarter. Once I fit my tail light to make sure that it fits, and then I'll start the welding. The car manufacturers recommend that you cut panels in certain areas. This is a great area down here as per Kia and all the manufacturers. If you cut it down here, there's less finish work to do, and it's a great place to join your repair. The sail panel is the next one. You don't want to join through the quarter here. It's just way too much work and it's not very efficient to do. So next I'm going to clean up some of these welds, address these, and then I'll be able to remove the door and make sure that I get everything taken care of there. So bear with me. Okay, now as you see, I removed the door to get that out of my way, give me more access, more movability to get at these welds and clean them up. Now there's some of these welds that have little small holes. I'll have to go back and touch them up and grind them back down to make it look like the rest of the panel. Something I didn't mention is this is a used quarter panel. Insurance company wanted me to use this. It's more cost effective in this job. In the process of removing it from the old vehicle, of course you got to drill out all the spot welds. That gives you your location for your welds, how many they are, and where they're located. Now with a new panel, you'll have to know how many welds there are, what location they are, and you should duplicate that. You drill a 5/16 hole, and then you plug weld it, and then grind it down, touch it up if need be, and then you're back to safety standards of how the vehicle was produced, and also that it will pass a crash test, which is huge. It has to be safe. Safe is first. So my next process, like I said, will be to touch up these welds in this jam. Then that'll be done. Then I'll move on to fit my tail light, make sure my tail light still lines up, make sure my trunk gap is good, and then I'll finish the welds in that area. Okay, the next step in the process is I've got all of this done. I'm done all the way around here. My next step is to do the welds in the trunk area. I've achieved nice trunk line, tail light line. Trunk line looks really good. So again, I'm going to weld that next, and that'll lock everything in place for me. Lights on, it's recording. Yep. Okay, now I've got all my welds all prepped. My section where I cut it is prepped and ready for the final repair. My seams are all good. I'm happy with everything I've achieved. My lines are where they need to be. The door fits great. And the next step is Bondo. Ready. Okay, the green you see is an E-coat, which is a coating that hopefully will stop it from rusting. This here seam seal is catalyzed. It will harden up in about 15 minutes. It's as close as you can get to a factory type sealer. So I prefer to use this. Get all the cracks and crevices all filled in, so no moisture and salt and dirt can get in. Yes, sir.
You ordered these, must be?
Yes.
You keep them in there?
Yes. Yep. on. I'm going to go up and get a read.
Oh, charger. Battery charger.
I'm dragging it. Okay, I just got this back from the paint shop a little while ago. What they've done is they've already put the base color down and they have to do the tri-coat. They've done the tri-coat in the jam and also in the trunk jam. That's all done already. So now, again, checking fitment. My trunk lines up nice all the way around, both sides. The jam area is all painted and protected so it won't rust. We're all done all inside of here. I've hung the door, started to detrim on the door. My gap looks really good. And at this point, it's ready to go back to the paint shop so they can do their final painting. We're in the process of prepping the bumper, getting it to go back over with it. At that point, then it's all on them, and then once I do get it back, I'll do the final assembly and this baby can go down the road.
That's the sealer. Kind of look like base coat, you know? It's just white. White sealer. That's the gas door. Didn't have to seal the gas door because there wasn't any damage done to it. So now you won't see none of the burn marks or where he burnt through when they were sanding it and everything down like that. Everything is one flat color, sealed. All you have to do is seal this burn through the marks, areas, because there wasn't any primer or anything done to the quarter panel. Other than this top area here where they cut it. Looks good.
Okay, here's the one I put the quarter panel on. It's all finished up. It's on its way to wash, to get cleaned up and get ready for delivery. Got nice gaps. Door opens just beautiful. If you remember, the section is right through here. And right down in the jamb right here is where I cut the quarter. Put the used quarter on. A nice trunk gap. Trunk opens and closes real nice. Taillight gap's perfect. All the fitment is there. I'm happy. Clean it and ship it.